So we are saying that no matter the outcome of this transaction, this private equity will always have a minimum cash balance of $5 million. So we reference that amount there. And since we want to have it as a minimum cash balance, that we always want to see that amount. They are not spending above that amount, so whatever cash generated from operations, we have to deduct that amount from the total cash generated in the period. So the cash available to pay down the revolver is going to be equal to, we will take the opening cash balance, deduct cash from, take the opening cash balance, and then we adjust it by adding the cash generated from the operations, and then we deduct cash used in investing activities and all the cashes that will be used to pay down debt, or that is the required repayments, and then any other cash that might be might impact the financing of these debt activities. So we will adjust all of those cash, and then whatever is left will be used to pay down the revolver going forward, and also will be used to pay down the other charges of debt. So that's exactly what we are doing here. With some all of those, we can take all of these and fill it right with Control R. So the only thing we have to do is to make sure that we are referencing everything in our transaction section with F4, so that this minimum cash balance flows throughout the projected period. So we have it set up there. So now we are ready to begin modeling the tranches of debt. First of all, we'll begin with the line of credit, which is the most secure debt, and then we will go into modeling the term loan A, which is more secure than term loan B, and ultimately the subordinated debt. So to begin with the line of credit, the first thing we want to do here is to reference the amount that is being borrowed by this private equity. So we already had it set up for us in our transaction section. So we are saying here that this private equity will be borrowing roughly $4 million for the line of credit. So we're going to reference that amount there. So the opening balance is going to be equal to the prior period's closing balance. So it's a Cox-Score calculation. And then for the additions or repayments to be made, the repayments in this case, it's going to be equal to, take the minimum of whatever the opening balance will be, or the cash available to repay that tranche of debt. So we are taking the minimum of whatever it's gonna be available to pay the tranche of debt. So we take the minimum of those two, we press enter. So we can now take this and fill it right with Control R. So now going forward, in order to account for the interest expense, like I said before, we will have to bring into we have to bring in the interest rate spread, that is the base rate, including any margins or swap rate. So in this case, the interest rate is gonna be interest rate spread is gonna be equal to, we go to our transaction section. We have it here set up for us. The borrowing rate is roughly 300 basis points for the revolving line of credit. So in order to convert that into a percentage, we will reference that cell with F4 that we're always referring to the transaction section, and then we divide it by 10,000. So we are converting it to a percentage. Now the interest rate that these particular investors will be comfortable at is going to be equal to this interest rate spread, that is the coupon, then plus the floating rate benchmark, which we already have it set up here. Of course, we have to divide this again by 10,000 because we are converting the floating rate benchmark into a percentage. So we have it set up there for us. So in order to calculate the interest expense, it's going to be based on an average of the opening and the closing debt balance. So we will take the interest rate and then we multiply it by the average of the opening and the closing debt balance, because the payments might take place within the year. So we are taking the average of both the opening and the closing debt balance. So we have that set up, and then we can press enter. Now we can now take this and fill it right with Control R. So we have it set up there for us. So this is the interest expense that will be paid to this tranche of debt, that is the line of credit. At this point in time, these numbers will change later on in the model when we have other items here filling in to offset our cash available to repay the revolving line of credit. So for now, we have this set up here as this amount of interest that will be paid to